This isn't even their final form.
And we won't see that probably ever again. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's awesome to see.
No matter what, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
That is certainly interesting.
Wait, what now?
Oh,
Wait,
equal!
God. Well then.
Oh my god.
They came in the right order, too.
Red, 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 red.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what now? Oh, yeah.
Alright, and we're live, boys.
Hog champ.
Here with another episode of Tavern Talk.
Oh, we're live?
We're live.
Intro us in.
To what's up?
So what's going on, guys?
It's a new season and Team Rank 5's already 1-0.
Hog champ.
That's a thing. That happened.
That's a pog champ.
Are we awake?
Not
No, not
really.
No, we're all asleep.
Alright,
It's been
well,
a rough week. I got 3 weeks left here. I'm backing it in.
I need you not to mail in this Tavern Talk.
Okay.
Alright,
Oh, I'm Cassidy14. MV Parker's on the host, and we've got Mange here attempting to talk without his hands. Should be a fun time here. It's week 1 in THL. We got a lot going on.
I don't like you for it.
20 teams battling to see who's going to come out on top, and we have a lot to get to tonight. Our drinking rules, if you actually drink with Tavern Talk, power ranking power hour. So every time a team gets ranked, you're going to take a drink. When your team gets ranked, you're going to take 2 drinks. And anytime you disagree with one of us, just drink your sorrows away because you're wrong and we're right.
perfect.
So let's dive right into those.
Ready for the power rankings? Alright, let's
Yeah.
Let's do the power rank. Do the previews afterward. After we rank these teams.
Yeah, so we asked the community to have you guys all chip in and vote, and we were hoping to get some legitimate results. Based on the results, I'm hoping some of you were trolling. And then we all each individually did a ranking system, which isn't a thing going forward. Each week from now on, we'll come together and make one list. But it's really cool to kind of see where our opinions kind of differ here to start the season. We're not all on the same page, shockingly enough. So you're going from the bottom up or the top down?
the bottom up.
Oh, baby. Number 20. This is where community, I'm hoping you guys got trolled into this happening. The bottom team for all of us is none other than the Bad Hombres. They're number 1 in our hearts, but they're not going to win a lot of games.
Mm-mm.
And somehow the community picked Zenergy to go here and not the Bad Hombres. So I'm a little confused with what's going on there. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Alright.
I think there's some memers around. Throwing the hombres at 1 for the lulls and the keks.
Yeah, that's what I think happened too. I think that, the hombres themselves and, people that just want to cause anarchy overall, they threw the hombres at number 1 probably because they had a good number of number 1 votes. So, but I think that they are clearly the worst team, mainly because they don't try very hard. Or at least their goals are different, I should say, than most other teams. So
The Bad Hombres, if you're running a little league, those are the kids showing up just to get the orange popsicles at the end of the game. They're picking grass in the outfield, but they're best of friends off the field too. And in THL and power rankings, picking grass doesn't get it done.
Mentioning
GNet
grass.
says we did it. Good job, everyone.
Mentioning grass, I think that just goes right into 19.
Oh, good transition, Parker. So 19, for Parker's rankings, I think we all chose something different here. No, we didn't.
No.
Parker and I agree here.
Yep.
We both had Get Off My Lawn. Just a lot of vets. Ham Bowen playing up a seed. I mean, just just a bunch of good older dudes. I don't know how serious about Hearthstone they are. I think they're playing because they love the league. And I just don't think we see this team having a lot of success. They're also in the red division, which sucks for them because they have a lot to do. Mange, you put Netherstorm down here,
Hmm.
and the community picked ATL, I'm assuming because no one knows who they are.
Yep, I agree.
You want to talk to us about Netherstorm? I think you have them a lot lower than either of us do.
Yeah, I probably do. I think that they, ever since Twiz has taken over as the captain, that they've been a pretty solid team. But they've had a pretty steady decline each season. And last season, it kind of fell apart for them. They were among the worst teams in the league. I think that the league overall was a little bit stronger than it was last season, and they're bringing back the same exact lineup, different order, like different seeds, which is definitely going to help them. But I don't see them being very strong. But they could always surprise.
Fair enough. Moving on up to number 18. Parker and I agree again. We have Zenergy down here. Just they've not had a good season in a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people in the league now were in the league the last time Zenergy had a good season.
I can't even remember, TBH, honestly.
That was a long, long time ago. The very first THL Power Rankings ever did have Zenergy at number 1.
Oh, Pog Champ.
The mighty have
The
fallen.
mighty have fallen, yep.
Yep.
Mange has Get Off My Lawn here, probably for the same reasons we had them a slot lower, and the community does as well. So not a lot of faith in the Get Off My Lawn crew.
Hmm.
Nah, just a bunch of good dudes though.
Quite a few of them. Quite a few good dudes.
Yeah, there's a lot of good dudes there.
Alright. So what's next? Oh, we got 17.
Yeah, we're on 17. This is the first tier where we all have a different team. Parker, you have ATL. Mange has Zenergy. I have Noob Central, and the community put Initium Novum all the way down at 17. I just kind of have the noobs down here because this is not a trending upward roster. They as a team have kind of been trending downward lately, and it's just, I don't know if this is just like a collection of people or what's going on, but I don't see this team making a lot of noise this season. I could be totally wrong. I'm shocked that Initium Novum is this low after the season they put together. I mean, they're loud. The community knows who they are. They talk a lot. They won a fair amount, and they were thrown way down. Maybe the community looked at the division they're playing in and didn't think that they were good enough to compete with Red. I don't know, but I thought they were super low here. You guys want to talk to us about ATL and Zenergy?
We'll get my mic to work. There we go. Yeah, I put ATL down this low just sheerly out of I don't really know much about them. They're a new team. I don't know who they are. So I don't have them down here necessarily because I think they're bad or not a good team. I just have them down here out of like the unknown factor. I didn't really know where to put them. So when I don't really know where to put someone, I just kind of put them low. And then, they obviously have plenty of room to move up.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I have Zenergy here, and you guys touched on a lot of those reasons. I think that they seem to not have a true number 1 seed, or even really a true number 2 seed, but a lot of 3s and 4s, and I don't know how that's going to translate into wins. And I tend to agree with your ranking of New Central. I think, spoiler alert, they're coming up on my list pretty soon.
Okay, so we move up to 16. We get out of the pure Garbo tier. We get to the needs work tier, Parker, you had Initium Novum here, so you're closest to the community compared to Mange and I. We both have them up quite a bit yet. Talk to us about why you have them so low.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of factors that puts Initium Novum here for me. One, it's basically Arcane took over the team in week 4 last season, right? And
Yes.
the remaining 5 weeks they went 3-2. So not bad, but it's not exactly spectacular. They were gifted a lot of points from the previous team. like a lot. They were I think they were the top team in their division. So I don't know. For me, it's just they didn't they did okay, slightly above 500, and I'm not sure that what they added in the offseason is enough to make them go from slightly above 500 to a top tier team.
Okay, fair enough. Mange, you have Noob Central here. Probably the same reasons I had them down. I had ATL here. I didn't know where the hell to put ATL, but they're repping for their hood, so I had to not put them at the very bottom. So I threw them at 16. And the community with another one that I'm really surprised about. They put the Golden Wisp at 16.
Yeah.
And I think the Golden Wisp is primed to make a nice little playoff run here. Now, we did do our rankings before seeing divisions, or at least I didn't take divisions into account personally. But still, like, they had a nice little season last season. They've been on the upswing. They shouldn't be DQing out of the 2 seed as much anymore.
Ooh,
I don't know. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think that's a really, really, really rough ranking to give them.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's way too low. I mean, well, I say way too low. I don't have them actually that much higher. They are higher for me, but I think it is low for them. I see a lot in chat that this is really low, and that I think Tigger Me Biscuit said he has in the top 5. I don't agree with that, and we'll get into why when we get to them. But yeah, I think this is a little bit low. Yeah, community likes the meme.
I like the meme.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on up, we are at 15. Nice round number here. Parker has Dirty Mike and the boys. Mange has Dirty Mike and the boys. I have Netherstorm, and the community also has Dirty Mike and the boys. I mean, that's just like the coolest team name ever. You guys aren't believers.
No, I have him here again. Kind of the same reason I have ATL down here. Just I don't really know what to think. It's a really interesting team lineup with all 300s, and they're really going to need to ride on the coattails of that bottom of that lineup. And I'm not sure if that gets them there. So the unknown combined with I'm not really sure about their composition, that's why they landed here for me.
Yeah. They could all be really good players, but I don't know if that means that it's going to translate into all them being really good players for their seeds. If you're going into the league with a 300 PR1 seed and a 300 PR2 seed, you're going to lose a lot of games there, most likely, unless they just are far better than their PR, which does happen sometimes with players entering the league. Flip side of that is I believe that they have the highest PR5 seed in the history of THL.
Oh, they sure do.
So you expect
Cody is a god.
So you expect a lot of wins there,
A lot of
and
wins.
you know, an above average PR4 seed. So the composition I'm not sure about, but you know, it's interesting. You know, it's super interesting, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
They basically have the slumps from 5 seeds.
Yeah,
Just a PR through the roof for a seed.
Their captain also has a house, according to our hat in chat.
that's true.
That's also
Vital
rude.
vital part of us awarding him a team, as we heard he had a house.
All right, good stuff. So we're moving up to 14. This is where Parker slots in Netherstorm. We see the first appearance for Defias from Mange. I threw Prep Coin Concede here, and the community finally, the bad hombres are in. According to the community, there are going to be 6 teams worse than the bad hombres this season.
If the Hombres aren't behind every other team by 20 points again, I'm going to be shocked. I'll just put it that way.
They made it to 14.
Uh-huh. Good stuff, though.
Good for them.
Yeah, I think the blue division's pretty weak, so I start, kind of rolling out blue teams here on the way up. Talk to me about Defias being down here.
Yeah, sure. So they do have GNets as a 1 seed. Historically, GNets has been a great 1 seed player. But last season he struggled pretty hard. New meta this season, so we'll see how that translates if it actually matters at all. But they're 2 and 3 seeds. We have some SHL veterans in Joe and Hockey Boys. And they've been pretty good in SHL. But it doesn't necessarily translate over to THL. For instance, Cassidy, fine THL player, went over SHL and was the best SHL player of all time. It's a little different. I guess THL is just older and has more experienced players at this point. So it's a challenge. I think it'll be an interesting challenge for them. AO, I expect to be very good. He's been pretty good since coming into the league, and I don't see any reason why he won't be great in the 5 seed for them. But I don't know. It's just a lot of unproven question marks for me. But yeah, I mean, obviously they have potential. They have a lot of talent. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Moving on up, we've got Parker with Noob Central at 13. The community agrees. Mange and I obviously already had them a little bit lower. Mange puts Initium Novum here, and so do I at rank 13.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Novum will be a decent below average team overall, and probably on the outside looking into the playoffs most of the season. I don't see anything special about that roster. I don't know about you.
Nah, not really. I guess adding Appa in the 3 seed, that's
Arhat
pretty
was telling
interesting.
us about him. He seems legit.
Yeah, he does sound. I mean, I think he's probably an improvement over some of the guys I had last season. And you expect Blue Spartan to be solid, and Arcane is going to be solid. But I don't know if that's enough. If you're just solid everywhere, how good can you actually be? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm with you. So for me, I've put the noobs here just because I don't think they'll have a spectacular season, but I do think that they have a decently solid lineup all the way across the board. Also, this is like where I think the purple division's pretty strong, and this is the first purple division team to hit the board for me, so I think
Yeah,
they're
I
at
would
the
agree.
bottom of their division, but still a decently solid team.
Well, we had Noob Central as well. Oh yeah, that's your
Yeah,
first
that's
purple
my
team.
first purple team. Yeah.
That's funny. They're the highest PR, and we all have them ranked the lowest in that division.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
All right, we move on up a little bit. Parker's got Prep Coin Concede at 12. Mange has Team Golden Wisp. I've got Dirty Mike and the boys. And the community puts Netherstorm here. I'm intrigued that Netherstorm's is high for the community. Talk to us about Prep Coin Concede, Parker.
Yeah, I think Prepcoin Concede, formerly known as Parallax, has a really solid lineup just across the board. Eldorian and Chigmo especially should be really solid at the 2 seed. He's always been
Above average.
above average. And then Tan and Grace should do really well in the 3 seed. The dude is a multi-time legend player and used to be a really good caster. So I don't see him struggling in the 3 seed. Necrotic is kind of the X factor. You don't really know anything about him. And Gemini's been really up and down. But if she just swings mildly upwards, I think they have a really solid team.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think that they have a pretty solid roster. And I think that Chigmo as a captain, getting to know him over the last few weeks, I think he's a great guy and a really smart dude, and he's going to have them well prepared. So I agree that they're going to be pretty solid.
Cool. We move up to 11. We're starting to get to the good stuff here. Parker puts the pod people, and Mange puts the poo people. This is, in fact, the same team. 2 different names, depending on what you want to call them. This is their first appearance on any list. I have Team Golden Wisp here, and the community has Prep Coin Concede here. Tell me what you guys think about the pod poo people.
The pod people are great guys. All very solid Hearthstone players. Hat established himself as a 500 PR1 seed pretty early on in his THL career, considering. And I think if you have a guy like Dire Spare in the 4 seed and Rock Base in the 5 seed, like they're going to be pretty good. and they have them at 11th, but like they absolutely have a shot to make a playoff run. The question mark for me is Mojo Powell, who I know absolutely nothing about. So interested to see how he does. And I think Zeroshio started off his THL career last season, like coming in like middle of the season. And that, I want to say that he beat Cheesy and Smoked Salmon, which is two pretty good. That's pretty good couple wins to start off your THL career. So he can kind of hang with anyone.
I'm pretty sure he beat them and then lost like 3 or 4 in a row though. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I mean I'm not quite sure. I just I think that he'll be a fine 2 seed, and with the strength of or what I think will be their 4 or 5, I think that they're gonna have a good season.
Yeah, I tend to agree. That's why I had him here. Pretty much all the same points you hit on. Hat's really solid. I think their 4 and 5 is really good. And then if they're 2 and 3, just bat 500, they'll be fine.
Nice. Here we go, the top 10. And there is a lot of differentiation here. And this is kind of where rankings start to distinguish themselves. Like the difference between 15 and 16 at the end of the day isn't all that much. But I think like going from 7 to 6 and et cetera, I think there's definitely like tangible differences there. So this is enjoyable. Number 10, Parker's got Team Golden Wisp. Mange has ATL this high. Wow. This is where I put Defias, and the community put the pod people, number 10. Why is ATL so high, Mange?
Oh, I mean they're 10th. Like that by definition, that is dead average.
Yeah, that's true.
I just if you look at their PR, like just their PR numbers themselves, like they have a pretty solid PR for each of their seeds. If they play that way, you don't really know. But looking at some results, which I did not take into account when building this power ranking, but looking at some results, they had a sweep in their 2 seed, beating a guy who just does not lose very much. So I don't know. I expect them to be solid. I was really impressed by Slime Guy's interview as well when he had a captain's interview. So maybe a little insider knowledge, give him a bump there. But yeah, I think that they're going to be a fine team.
And Parker, this is the highest anybody's got Golden Wisp, I believe. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, they've just continued to do better. I feel like every season. They made some questionable off-season signings, I would say. So I initially, before I found out some of their signings, I had them higher, and they kind of fell to here. But I don't know. They have Double Os. Double Os has always been really solid. Alec in the 3 seed is just like he always crushes the 3s. Sunshine did really well for the first like half to 3/4 of the season before like tailing off a little at the end. So if he can get back to doing really well, they should be really solid. And then their 4 seed is it's awesome. So we'll see how that goes. And their 2 seeds coming in with a 4. I have no clue who it is, but a 470 PR like starting is really good. So,
yeah.
So you have to think that there's some talent there. So I don't know. I just feel like they'll have a really solid roster overall.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of a middle of the road why I have them at 10.
Cool. Yeah, that's how I feel about Defias. I think they're going to ultimately be kind of just a middle of the road, kind of a standard for at least how good of a roster you want to put together to really compete. I just have huge question marks with Joe HS and Hockey Boys after playing in SHL for a whole season. I definitely think the quality of play over there is a little bit lower as a whole. So I'm curious to see how more SHL vets translate. We saw a couple last season in like Bit Beaker and Arcturus, and I think it was Dyrus Bear from SHL, maybe not. And they definitely, in their record, it reflected that there was a pretty big gap that they had to get up to. So that's kind of where I think they are. On paper, their PR is really good, and they look like they're really good, but I think there's going to be a learning curve there. Number 9, Parker. This is the first appearance for Hearthstone Academy. Mange has Prep Coin Concede here. He's the last person to rank them. I've got Temporal Legends, and the community has Team Swagoy. Talk to us about HSA, Parker. They're the defending champs, and you dropped them all the way to 9.
Yeah, they were really impressive last season, but I think they're ultimately suffering from the PR cap doing what the PR cap does. Sage now moves up from the 4 seed to the 3 seed, the 4 seed where he was really dominant, to the 3 seed where personally I think he might struggle a little. So their top, JB and Brewski, there's no question mark there. Both of those guys did really well last season, and I don't see them doing any worse. But I think Sage having to slide up a little bit. They're bringing in Bork. Bork's he's a good 4 seed, but I'm not sure it's enough to make up for the 3 seed. And then Scritch in the 5. I don't know. I don't see them being a like a top 2 or 3 team like they were last season.
Okay, fair enough. Mange, you have prep coin conceded. You're a believer. Why is that?
Yeah, I believe in the 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, the 2, 3, 4 seeds for them. I've listened to Eldorian podcast on the Coin Concede podcast. Seems like a smart dude. So, yeah, I think I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I think Chigmo's leadership is going to go a long way, getting them prepared, and I think that they have some talent.
Cool. It looks like I'm gonna have the Temporal Legends way lower than everybody else. When your top 2 seeds put in that big of a turd of a season combined, it's really tough to win.
The 2 and
And
7s.
yeah, especially when your dog is just taking dumps in your living room, looking you right in the eyes the whole time. I don't know. That's just if those guys can win, they should be fine. But I don't think Loch Ness H can put the whole team on his back again. And they kind of needed him to do that just to have a chance last season. So Bulk and Hector need to step up, and I'm not super confident that they will. And Community has Swagoy. So we move up to 8. Parker's got Defias Brotherhood. Mange has Swagoy. I have NWA, and the Community has NWA. And this is where, assuming everything goes according to plan, I don't think it's quite official yet. This would be the playoff cutoff. So we'd have the top 8 teams in the playoffs. Parker, talk to us about Defias.
Yeah, I think Defias made some pretty good offseason pickups, especially in G-Nets. G-Nets has just always been a really, really solid 1 seed in this league. So I can't see him doing any worse. AO had a pretty good season last season. King Salt's kind of like the question mark. And Joe, HS, and Hockey Boys coming from the SHL, I tend to think they'll do okay. I played Joe last season. Joe seemed like a perfectly fine Hearthstone player. So I imagine he'll do really well. And then Hockey Boys is a 432 PR 3 seed. So I imagine he'll also do fairly well. So I just think they'll have a really solid team. And they're playing in a division where I think they will have a lot of competition. But I think they could be near the top of their division.
Okay, cool. NWA is just, they're the same team. This is about where they finished last season. I thought this was a pretty easy ranking to do. I do think the overall quality of team is higher this season. So I think they will probably take a step or 2 back. But I still think they look like a playoff team. So I have them at 8. And Mange, you have Swagoy here. You want to talk about them for a minute?
Well, they have Tim from Tim's team.
Agreed.
Honestly, they should have been 1, but no. Swagoy really struggled early last season, and then about week 5 on, they kicked everyone's asses. And I think they really figured out the THL format. And it tends to, if you look historically at new players, it tends to take a few weeks to really get it. So I think that their true talent lies more in how they were stomping everyone. Really good teams. They beat like Supreme last season, and I want to say Entropy as well.
Supreme and Entropy.
Yeah, so it's not like they're just beating up on dumpsters or garbage cans. So I think that they're going to continue that momentum and find themselves in a playoff race this season.
Cool. We go to 7. Parker throwing more shade at a championship finalist. He has Aeon all the way down here. Mange has NWA here. This is where I've got the pod people, and the Community has Temporal Legends here. I really like the pod people going into the season. I think our hat's one of the best captains we have in the league. And so I think that team is going to be prepared every week. And because of how good of a player he is, I think they're going to be well prepared and prepared to do good things. So I have a lot of hope that that community is going to translate kind of the friendly vibes they've got going on into some wins. I think they're going to be a team that's really tough to beat. Mange, you got NWA here, 7 or 8. It feels like they just kind of belong here at this point.
I'm pretty sure that until the day Team Hearthley closes up, Salt will captain a team in the top 10. And probably toward the bottom half of the top 10. But yeah, they're solid. They're going to be, really, really solid. Really impressed with Pink Samus and Tony Montana every time I watch them play. Obviously, Salt, is Salt and always does pretty well. So, and Dreaded. I mean, it's hard to not talk about Dreaded. That guy has been killing it now for 3+ seasons. So, they're just a really, really solid team. Well above average.
And Parker, why the Aeon shade, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Aeon has a really good roster. I just, again, kind of the same. They fall into the same boat for me. Is like the PR cap kind of had to correct itself. Darkseid again stepping up from the 4 seed where he was really, really good to the 3 seed where he's a very low PR 3 seed. For example, this week he's like 156 point underdog, which is a big PR gap to try and play against, and I think he'll consistently have to play against that. So I think he could potentially struggle. Donnie had an incredible season, or the Town Drunk last season, but I'm interested to see if he can replicate that again. And Follow Durden should be. I think he'll actually be really solid, but I don't know. Their 3 seed, their 5 seed are big question marks for me. So I just couldn't put them top 5 back where they were.
Yeah, that's fair. It's really interesting to me that you talk about the PR cap correcting itself, but they like overcorrected themselves. They're coming in at 1662.
Yeah.
Which is one of, if not the lowest PR in the league. I think it is the lowest PR in the league. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at the 3 and 4 seeds, especially throughout the season, you're going to have to wonder, if they struggle, what happens if you spend that PR a little more efficiently.
I think that just tells you how much faith they have in Follow Durden and Darkseid, because they're definitely a little bit lower for their PR in those seeds. So.
Okay, we move up to number 6. Parker has NWA here, so I believe that is the last ranking of them. All 4 people had NWA 6 through 8. That's really interesting. Temporal Legends for Mange coming in at 6. Swagoy for me coming in at 6. And then the community puts Defias here. So the community has a lot of faith in Defias, I think, compared to us.
For sure.
And maybe we're just wrong about that.
Probably.
And I was going to say I have Swagoy the highest, but that's Parker, so I'll let him talk about that next time. Mange, talk to us about our friends, the Temporal Legends.
The Temporal Legends. Well, they're well known as the Paladins of the past. Really, they're the Warlocks of the past. Always bringing Zudex and shit. But if you just look in a vacuum, if you just take out last season and how bad Hector and Imbolg struggled, in a vacuum, that roster is very good. And so I'm going to choose to believe that they struggled to. I'm just going to believe that they struggled to adapt to a meta last season. That meta is gone. Hector has more free time this season as he's no longer on the board. He didn't run for his historian position, so more time to help prep. They signed Anarchist, who has historically been a good 5 seed. And so I think that they are ready to take that step and be a really good team. I'm going to choose to believe that Hector and Imbolg don't go a combined like 3 and 17 or some shit, whatever they did last season. And really, if either of them just went 500, like they don't both have to go 500. If either of them just won one more match, they would have made playoffs. So I think that they are going to be a good team.
All right, fair enough. We move to the top 5. And probably the biggest surprise of the night, Parker himself put Team Swagoy in the top 5. Mange has HSA here. This is where I put Valkyrie. This is their first appearance. and the community put Aeon 5th. So Parker, tell us about Swagoy.
Oh, Team Swagoy. Good old Tim from Tim's team. Well, I walked in and they were fapping. So that's when I knew that they
God.
just had an incredible team. No, for real though. Last season, they started off as a new team. They really struggled to start the season, right? They just couldn't
Yes.
really seem to get it together. But towards the end of the season, we played this team and I was on Supreme and we were like getting primed and ready for the playoffs. Like we were rolling hot. We were just beating up teams and we just got beat down by Swagoy. Like it wasn't even close. I'm pretty sure we only won one of our 5 matches and like none of the matches were even close. We were getting swept in almost every series. So I don't know. They really impressed me. And then the next week or the week after, they beat Entropy. They beat someone else, and then they lost to like the Generals by like 2 points. So they went out with a bang. They barely missed the playoffs. They almost ran it back from like dead last in our division to first. So I don't know. They really impressed me. They're bringing back a really similar roster with 4 of the 5.
Same roster, right?
No, they have Doc McButt now.
No, Doc McButt was on the team last year.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Doc McButt.
Then they're
he's a
running it
legend.
back.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I don't know. I was really impressed with them, and I think they'll continue to improve. So that's why I have them here.
Cool. We moved to 4th. Parker, you have Valkyrie here. Mange, you also have Valkyrie here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I put Team Rank 5, and the
Yeah,
community
fuck you.
put Hearthstone Academy 4th. You guys want to walk us through Valkyrie?
Well, if you look at that roster and you take away Lemur, you think, damn, that's a good roster.
Oh, man, that's true.
Unfortunately, it has Lemur, and unfortunately, he's the captain. But I know that Slimsh will help our young Lemur captain if he struggles, like, in preparation and stuff, and when he's busy with his shows and whatnot. On paper, their roster is very strong. I mean, they have the best player in the history of Hearthstone on the league in Slimsh, and if you ask Smoke Salmon, the second best player in the history of Hearthstone in Crackshot. So they're a good team. They're going to be really, really good. And I honestly only have them 4th because I just think 1, 2, and 3 are really, really, really strong.
Yeah, I don't know anything about JR Juggernaut. We know how good D lineman is. Lemur being a player and a captain is scary, as well as commissioner of SHL. So I don't know. I hope the Lemur curse gets broken, but at the same time, it's a really good meme. So if it doesn't, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Parker, what do you think?
Yeah, I put him here for similar reasons to what Maine said, and I do know that like from being on a team with Slumps and being not the best captain in the world, Slumps will do a lot for you. So you just have to show up, man. He's basically got it all going on for you. So Lemur's where the areas where Lemur might fall short, Slumps will gladly pick up the slack. D lineman too. He's no stranger to helping someone prep and do lineups. So I don't know. I just think they have like 4 of the 5 seeds are really strong, and then, well, 3 of the 5. Lemur's Lemur, and then JR Juggernaut's kind of like the question mark. So as long as he just does okay, there's no reason this shouldn't be one of the best teams in the league.
Cool. We go to the top 3. Parker has Temporal Legends 3rd. Mange has Aeon here, as do I. And the community put Valkyrie up here, which isn't a surprise. The bearded beauty is on Valkyrie. The community knows how good he is and how lovable he is. So they put him up near the top. I have Aeon here more out of a respect thing than anything else. I'm a pretty big believer that when you put together the magnificent season both of those 2 teams did, that should be reflected in your preseason power rankings. So that's why I have them here. Mange, do you want to talk about why you have them so high?
Yeah. I mean, so obviously, if you look at their roster from top to bottom, right, we have Markshire in the 1 seed, who had one of the more impressive 1 seed seasons we've ever had last season. Top Hat Demon, who went 5-4 overall, but I think a lot of those came in the 1 seed, those losses. And the 2 seed, he performed pretty well, and he should be one of the best 2 seeds in the league. Dark seed is definitely a question mark for me, and the 3 seed had a fine season in the 4 seed. I think he went like 5-4 with some playoff wins, but it's a big jump between the 4 and the 3 seed. I've played in both, and the competition is definitely a step up. So that's a question mark for me. I believe that he is capable of doing well, but I do think that, or I would not be surprised, I should say, if there's a little bit of an adjustment there. Follow Durden is, I think, like 250 PR, but he's hit legend at least once, I think multiple times. He's played in a lot of off-season tournaments and has performed very well in those. So I expect him to be a strong 4 seed. And Donnie took a lot of pleasure in making me eat my own words all season last season. And I would not be surprised if he has another strong season. So I think that they're just a very good team.
Fair enough. We move to number 2.
Oh, hold on. I gotta talk about my boys,
Oh yeah, I forgot. You got to
The-
talk about our good friend.
the legends. Well, Cassie. You see, there's a good reason I put the legends here. The
The
legends.
Tar Heels won it all, and now we're gonna.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness, Imbolc and Hector Howe both had god awful seasons last season, but I think they're both too good to not to do it again. And our boy Loch Ness just put the team on his back. So if he just has a little bit of help, they signed Anarchist, so their 5 seed I think goes a step up, like takes a step up. Phoebus and Loch Ness had perfectly good seasons last season. So if Imbolc and Hector just pull just a little bit of their own weight, they should be really good. And if they have good seasons, this will be one of the top teams in the league. So that's why I have them here.
Makes sense. I would agree if those guys both have a strong season, they're definitely the team to beat, arguably in the whole league.
Yeah.
Number 2, Parker has team rank 5.
Yeah,
Mange
fuck you
has
too.
Supreme. I put Hearthstone Academy here, and the community put team rank 5 here. I guess, Mange, talk to us about Supreme. At this point, anybody who's been paying attention knows that you are the only person to now rank them number 1.
That's right. I have a lot of faith in them. I mean, they're number 2. But, they have some question marks in the 5 seed and the 3 seed. And you kind of question how, I don't know how to put this. You question how into and invested the team Dr. Jikanicki will be, just because, that guy is on the professional circuit. It takes up a lot of your time. And THL is kind of a different animal than anything else you do in Hearthstone, with the way that we can see classes beforehand and the way you can prepare decks and stuff. Cheesy's a great player, and he'll be fine in the 1 seed. And I think that Dr. J ultimately will be great in the 2 seed as well. But there's just some question marks there, for me at least.
Fair enough. I have Hearthstone Academy here because they are the defending champs. And, I was going to rank them number 1, and then I saw that Cheesy got Dr. Jikanicki on his team, so I couldn't rank them number 1 anymore. But I did what I could, guys. I do have the same questions as everybody else about them, though. How is Sage going to do moving up the seed? How is Bork going to do coming over? Because those are going to be the 2 players that decide how well of a season they have. And Scritch, because Scritch seems really hot or cold. But they should be fine in the 1 and 2, just like they were. And now, number 1. The consensus pick for number 1, outside of Mange, was Team Supreme. And Mange just kind of touched on it. We know Cheesy's really good. He's a former MVP. He's a former champion. He plays in prelims. He's kind of the boy wonder. Dr. Jikanicki is a North American champion. Bad Chops is a 412 in the 3 seed that, if he can be brought to email people back and submit classes, he could be pretty good. Detective Diamond was the big game hunter a season ago. And Diz Amlo is a little bit of a question mark, but he's a solid. I mean, he's a solid PR level for what you see in the 5 seed. So I think everybody just kind of looked at them and said that they have 2 absolute studs and then solid PRs in the other spots. Is that kind of where you were at, Parker?
Yeah, I was right there with you. I know how good of a player Cheesy is. He's a top caliber player. When he's not busy, he's always a prelims player. They signed America's champion. They've got Big Game Hunter, yeah, Detective Diamond, who's going to continue to do well, and the other 2 just have to play. Like just show up and you'll be good. That's all they have to do. Play your matches.
That's nice.
Yeah, why do you have us up here? I mean, you know that none of us play Hearthstone as a primary game right
Yeah,
now.
And last time that happened, we didn't lose a game, baby.
We also had Slim.
That's true. Yeah, no, not having Slimp sucks. We have Parker instead, which is obviously a lot worse. But I mean, I don't know. I believe my guys. I wouldn't have come back to captain the team if I didn't think that they were really good. So I'm gonna show a little bit of bias, and I'm gonna put my team number 1. And you know what? They had my back week 1.
Hey.
Yeah, I guess in between playing WoW and Gwent and PS4, maybe we could be pretty good.
I mean, I really have a ton of faith in the 3, 4, 5 seeds to be among the best that play in THL. And so as long as Parker doesn't shit all over himself every week and Salmon, doesn't choke, we'll be fine. And that's just kind of how I landed.
Oh, all right. So that's power rankings. We'll be back at you guys with the normal just list 20 through 1 as on our own when we get there next week. Let's dive into some marquee matchups for this week.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Our first matchup to watch here is Valkyrie against Hearthstone Academy. We have the defending champs, who we just talked about, versus, if the Dallas Cowboys were a team, it would be whatever team Slimsh is on. I mean, the community just loves to root for him. So we want to see how his new team's going to do. So they're going up against each other. And I believe we now have one result in based on the bragging going on in chat here. Oh, we have two results in. So D. Lyman has already beaten JB 3-1, and Bork has beaten Lemur, surprise, surprise, 3-2. So that's going to leave essentially a best of 3 between Slim Brewski, Sage and JR Juggernaut, and Scritch and Crackshot. So what are you guys thinking about this matchup so far?
Oh man, this is some good stuff. I really hope. I don't know if it is or not. Maybe Slimsh can tell us in chat or not. But Slimsh, as the most decorated player in THL history, going up against Brewski, who went 8-1 last season and seemed to be one of the strongest 1 seeds in the league. If that's not on stream somewhere, I'm gonna be pissed. So hopefully Slimsh is making that happen. I don't really know how I feel about that one, although it's just really hard to pick against Slimsh ever. What do you guys think of Crackshot and who's Scritch? Scritch,
Yep.
right? Yeah, sorry, Scritch.
Crackshot.
Yeah, I think
What do you guys think of that?
from this spot, I like Valkyrie. If you would have told me between D Lineman and Lemur they'd split and be up 1 point, I would have said I'm in. Like, I take Valkyrie. So I think Slumsh is favored slightly, and I like the Salmon's prodigy over there, Crackshot.
Yeah, I think I like his lineup a little more over Scritch's, so I would kind of give the nod to Crackshot there. But I don't really know anything because I play World of Warcraft. So I'm with Parker. If you had said that was going to happen, then I think Valkyrie's favored from this point because I think JB beating D Lyman was pretty important for HSA to win this week, and that's not going to happen. So yeah, I think Valkyrie ends up taking this one.
Cool.
Our next one is the Kings of 6 through 8 themselves, NWA, versus the homeboys from Hotlanta.
Jesus Christ. Why are you so cheesy?
What do you guys think about this one?
So let's talk about the result that we have. Echo.
We have two.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, the one that really stood out to me, we have Echo, who no one really knows anything about. I think he came in and swept Pink Samus, right?
He did.
Pink Samus loses about once every 3 months. So that's actually like crazy to me. I'm trying to pull up the schedule. You guys can talk about the other matchups while I look at the rest of this.
I'm with you. When you say the team from Hotlanta, I'm with you. I think they need to make a town name for themselves. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really impressive to me that Pink Samus got swept by Echo. Because like Maine said, the dude had like a 73% win percentage last season in his matches. So that's just crazy to me. That that the new guy could come in and just sweep him off his feet. But it should be noted, Tony Montana, who really struggled last season, I would say really struggled for his standards because he's normally like a top tier one seed. He came out and won, so if he gets back on track this season, that could be really big for them.
The match is currently 4-6, right? So it's pretty much anyone's match at this point. I don't know anything about the rest of the always top deck lethal guys. Some guy played last season for I want to say 4 or 5 weeks with Initium Novum, and I think that he struggled a little bit. He was like 1-4, I think. And so Dreaded has a history of just crushing the 5 seed ever since his return a few seasons ago. Yeah. So I think if you're looking on paper, you'd probably pick Dreaded to come away with that one. But I don't know anything about Blake Hall or Kaiser to give you an opinion on that matchup. But
yeah, well, I do know they need to submit classes.
That is true.
Along with, there's a lot of people that haven't submitted yet. This is kind of scary.
Temporal Legends.
Yeah, what the hell is that? Paladins of the past.
Oh, I gotta get their zoo practice in.
We need Dunamis. We need the Temporal Legends team. We need Bad Shops. We need Dirus Bear. We need Troy McClure, Thor Smash, Kaiser, whatever his name is, Slime Guy, Zab, the Flest Lay. We got a lot of people that need to get in here in the next 4 hours or 3 hours. So get it done, guys. But I'm with you. I think NWA is probably favored to win from here. Salt's a PR favorite. Drudded is a monster. Force of Will probably drops his game. So if ATL can find, a way to beat Salt or Drudded, they probably take it. But already it looks like it's going to be a good showing in week 1 to take on an established team and just to sweep one of the highest win percentages from a season ago. Hotland is here to stay. The meme name and the team, that is. Going to our next match, we have Aeon versus Initium Novum. So we've got runners up and Top Hat Demon versus. Oh wait, no, never mind. They're not playing Chigmo yet. Dang it. No. But they are playing Initium Novum, and they're a team looking to take the next step in the dreaded Red Division, which had consensus 3 of the top 5 teams in THL in it. So they need to get wins, and they need to get wins early. Worth noting, Markshire's not going to play this week. So probably the best all-around player from both leagues last season is taking a week off, and that would be the great chance for Initium Novum to kind of steal some points. He's being replaced by QWERTY, who I know nothing about.
Yeah, QWERTY is an established Hearthstone player in the Hearthstone scene. So if you are losing a guy like Markshire, replacing him with QWERTY is pretty fucking good.
QWERTY also subbed in last season and swept someone.
You know who he swept?
No clue.
Oh man, we're really good at this.
But I know he subbed in the last week and just
swept someone.
Brooms out.
So but yeah, I mean,
he's shown at least some ability to transfer over from like the tournament scenes to THL.
Yeah, finals week's a bitch, but Aeon had the bases covered. What do you guys think is going to happen with the rest of these matchups, especially Darkseid being 150 plus point underdog against Appa? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, Arnhat sold me on Appa. Apparently he was almost top 16 at DreamHack this past weekend. He's got a lot of top legend finishes. I guess he subbed in 1 week last season and lost, which is why he comes in at a 433 PR.
Yeah.
But that feels like the most lopsided matchup in the whole league this week. So
Yeah.
if Darkseid manages to pull that out, I mean, just crown him the big game hunter already. But that one feels as close to a lock as Hearthstone would allow for Appa there.
So we have the inside information coming directly from Twitch chat. Did not sweep Markshire, but he did beat Markshire 3-1. That QWERTY guy.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow. So
pretty good.
that's
Pretty
how
good
they did.
replacement.
They got the scouting. We have Arcane against Follow Durden. So we get to see Follow Durden, kind of come into the league against an established good 4 seed. I think Arcane went, 6-3 last season?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so he had a strong season. We have Town Drunk against Starden. I believe Starden is brand new, and Town Drunk looks to pick up where he left off. And Wolf Mac and Top Hat Demon. I don't know a whole lot about Wolf Mac, but I know Top Hat Demon is really freaking good at Hearthstone. So that feels like they're a pretty big underdog there too. Overall, I think Novum is a pretty large underdog in this matchup.
I don't know. I think it's really close. I think that Novum's definitely not favored in the 1 or the 2, but I think Appa losing in the round of 32 to Strife Crow in a close series should be a very big favorite over Darkseid, who's gonna get a rude awakening to the 3 seed week 1. But I think Arcane's slightly favored over Follow Durden, and then it comes down to the 5 seeds, and we know nothing about Starden. So I don't know. I think it's pretty close.
We know a little bit about Starden. He played in SHL last season, and he
Okay.
struggled a little bit in the 5 seed. And that doesn't always translate in SHL. Kind of weird because we have our own Rogue JT has played in the SHL for a few seasons now, and has been pretty mediocre. It's kind of a different format. So it might not necessarily translate that way for Starden, but if I had to pick it, I would pick it 4-1 for Aeon. I think that they're going to get wins in 1, 2, and 4 or 5 seeds.
I'd also pick Aeon. I think it'll be close. I think that's 3-2.
Fair.
I think they're going to win 4-1. But that's just me. We move on to our final preview. This one's a little interesting. We have kind of the team that is fallen from the top versus the team we think is rising from the bottom to the top in Noob Central versus Swagoy. It feels like a while now since Noob Central won that last title. I know I still remember it like it was yesterday, Bible Thump. And Swagoy is, a really high pick, especially among us, to do well this season. So it's interesting to see, we talked about it. Swagoy started slow last season, and they won 3 out of their last 4, including beating who we thought were the 2 best teams in Entropy and Supreme. And then Noob Central brings in Gideon Echo and Vendy, who are good buds dating back, for a while in real life. So we wonder if Noob Central has enough to make the playoffs. And I don't know where I stand on that. I know Vendy's had some success. I think Gideon Echo, by and large, has struggled, at least from a teams he's been on standpoint in THL. I don't know if you guys know any more about that or want to add anything there.
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
Just judging the acquisitions Noob Central made and whether or not that's going to make them now a playoff team.
Oh yeah. It's hard to say. Vendy obviously didn't play all of last season, so you kind of don't know how much Hearthstone he's been playing. I think that just historically he's been about average to slightly below average as a 2 seed, and the 2 seeds seem to have gotten stronger as the seasons progressed. I don't know how well he'll do, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does pretty well. On the flip side, I think Gideon Echo, his PR is well above average for a normal 4 seed. So I think it'll probably kind of be a mixed bag a little bit. But I do think Swagoy is going to come out on top this. Yeah, I mean, and we all had Swagoy, I think, higher than Noob Central, so including the community, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Swagoy comes out swinging week 1. I think they take 4 out of 5 here. I think they come out just guns blazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, so I just found out about this today, but we move on to what is now being dubbed the Survivor Challenge. Which one of you knuckleheads wants to explain this to people?
I'll explain the Survivor Challenge. So basically, here's how it works. Here's the rules. Each week, one of us will have to pick one team. Once we pick that team, we can't pick the team again. And we also can't pick a team if they have any matches played. If any results are submitted, we can't pick them. And it's a Survivor Challenge. So each week we'll pick a team, and like say this week, we'll just throw something out here. Obviously we can't pick this one, but say you were to pick Valkyrie against Hearthstone Academy, and Valkyrie won. You're still alive. Next week you pick another team. You can't pick Valkyrie anymore, and you just keep picking one team each week, and you try and see how long you can last. But if your team loses, you're out.
I can't wait for us to all be out of this by week 3.
Yeah. We'll probably all be out week 1. It'll be a 1 week segment thing. So.
Cool. I like this idea. So, who wants to start it?
I
can't-
will defer to one of you guys.
I can't pick team rank 5.
Nope, can't pick anyone that has any.
But
Nobody
I
that
want
has
to.
a match played. So that's a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a few.
What we should do is make a Facebook thread each week to start the week and have people talking on there. I don't know. Because there's just more and more people getting their matches played by Thursday night. Like half the matches are off the table.
Yeah, we'll have to pick these like prior to Tavern Talk.
Yeah, just between the three of us.
But if I had to pick a team, I'll go ahead and get them out of the way because I don't think they're going to get a matchup as juicy as this one ever. I'll go ahead and take Temporal Legends against Bad Hombres.
That's who I was gonna.
I mean, we can overlap, right? Like we don't
Okay.
have. Yeah.
Caster, you want to go ahead?
Also,
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. God, man, we got Imbolc against Murdoch, and that makes me nervous. I'm really scared to pick Murdoch or to pick Imbolc's team
Murdoch
going up against the memers.
has been prepping for this match since last week of season 5. I guarantee it.
Oh, it's so scary. But I do think the Anarchist will beat Denny Dots. I think Brunson will find a way to lose because he'll just bring like the worst decks you can possibly imagine. Our buddy Imbolc, I mean, he's probably the one I'm least confident in to win this week. Maybe that's Hector. Hector has to beat Dunamis, but Dunamis is full Dunamis decking, from what I understand. So I'll do what you did. I'll pick the Temporal Legends, and that means we can't pick them the rest of the way, right?
That's right, and that's fine because
Okay.
like I don't want to pick them anyway.
Yeah, I don't either. So I'll go with them. Parker, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I could go with them too, but I feel like you guys are just using a corked bat and a T-ball park here, so I'm gonna go somewhere else with my pick, and I'm gonna pick my boys I've been hyping up over there in Team Swagoy. I think they can just they start off hot with a nice victory over the noobs.
All right, Tim.
Bring it home, Tim.
So I honestly think it'd be really fun if we open this to the audience. I know there seems to be people that are enjoying this. Maybe we should make a Facebook thread for them, and I'll just keep track of it in a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
You're gonna need to get it up there really quick though, because a lot of these matches are getting played.
Yeah, I'm typing it now.
Yeah, and we'll just start posting this on Sunday night / Monday.
Yeah.
And we'll just we'll make our picks between ourselves and we'll make them public on Thursday.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we definitely want to get the community involved so that when the Bad Hombres and the noobs just roll this week, we can let them keep going because we'll all be out.
Okay.
All right, let's
What else
move
we
to
got?
Q&A, and then we're on our way out. Slimsh asks, are there any surprises on what you see in terms of the totals per class, regarding who submitted what? Working with the little bit we've got here, I'm a little surprised to see as much Hunter as we do. It's not a lot, it's only 22, but I don't know, I'm surprised to see so much Hunter coming in. What do you guys think?
Let's talk about 0 Warlock submissions to this point. Now, I don't think Warlock is very good, but it is always shocking to just see a 0. Have we ever had a week where a class wasn't picked, like a regular season week?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure there were some Paladin weeks.
I'm gonna
last
have
season.
to. I'm gonna have to go and look. Because even like when Priest was terrible, like right after the first standard rotation, you still had goofballs bringing it. I'm really surprised we don't see any goofballs bringing it this time.
There was a few weeks towards the end of Oil Rogue where if I didn't bring it, no one did.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, Zero Warlock. I mean, for the arguably, I don't even know if you can argue it. It's probably the strongest class when you go back from the beginning of Hearthstone until now. It's probably been the
Yeah.
most consistent top class in the
Yep.
game, and there's no submissions.
For a long time, it had 2 tier 1 classes for like over a year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's shocking to me. Murdoch asks, what are the best tips you can come up with for both new captains and new players going into week 1? I would say play what you're comfortable playing. I think a lot of people in this league read meta reports and read Vicious Syndicate rankings, and they assume that matchups just play themselves out. And I think, especially in the 3 through 5 seeds, it's about who can play their decks that they like to play better. And so my advice is to bring the decks you feel comfortable playing and to try to win with them because you'll know your decision trees kind of like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
I would for new captains, I imagine that most of you guys are already doing this, but definitely make like a Discord server or like a Facebook group, some way to communicate and get in the habit of kind of regimenting your guys, remind them all to send emails to schedule their their matches on Monday, and then on Tuesday follow up, find out when they're playing their match, and that way if you're talking to them every day, no one will get left behind and like forget to schedule a match or submit clashes. Just check in, and get everyone kind of following the same thing every week.
Yeah, I think something I would advise people to do, and just from looking at this page, a lot of people still need to do it. Step 1 would be submit your classes. I would do that. And email your opponent, also important. And I know a lot of people in the league haven't done it, so go out there, submit your classes. You got, 3 hours left? A little under 3 hours? So, yeah, do that.
Man, that's some quality advice.
No problem.
Oh
Always here to
man,
help.
how were you not captain of the season last season?
I don't know. Racist.
So, speaking of Parker, Brian Saley asked, looking at Team Rank 5's roster, it seems they have reverted back to an older strategy of win every seed except the 1 seed. How do you think the strategy does compared to the others that we see? Let's start with you, Cassidy.
I don't know. We give Parker a lot of shit, but I think he's really good. And those are big words coming from somebody who plays Hearthstone with a puke bucket sitting next to him.
I put this question in here just so I could tell Brian to kiss my ass.
Oh shit. I mean, obviously, I feel the same about Parker, who wouldn't be on my team. I mean, he's not like nice to be around, so that's not why. He's
Not
just
nice to look at.
shit. So you kind of put up with him because he's a good player. So.
Kiss my ass, Brian.
Oh shit.
Our final question is from the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Plummer. He says, facing Defias Brotherhood in week 1 reminds me that my team has faced them each season. I believe he was talking about 1600 Dust / the Pod People.
Yeah, the poop.
Including 2 seasons ago when they eliminated us from the playoffs. I believe that was BlizzCon week.
Yeah,
It sure was.
Fondly thinks of them as our rival team. Are there any other THL rivalries between teams that we should watch this season? Yeah, that's a good question. Do we have any good team-on-team rivalries?
We have some solid player beef with Chigmo and Top Hat Demon.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
a rivalry. Those 2 teams are a rivalry just because of that.
But
the Parker-Markshire rivalry. And they're in the same division, so
can it be a rivalry if it's so fucking one-sided?
Yeah,
I mean, Markshire just spanks that ass every match.
I'm with you. That's not a rivalry. I've scheduled my loss.
Team Rank 5 used to fondly look forward to the weeks going up against both the Harry Generals and the old version of Supreme, with dear Jason. And so I'm kind of sad that they're no longer around. But I don't think we have any other personal rivalries. And I'm not sure that there are any among the league. I wonder if teams could maybe talk to us, like, privately, throw some PMs, and maybe if there's a rivalry that they really like.
I'll give you some rivalries, just some hypotheticals. Not sure if they're really 100% rivals, but what about when the Bad Hombres go up against Initium Novum? Huh?
Why is that a rivalry?
Dunamis, the team he left.
Oh, it's true. Some
team
revenge.
he's on, some revenge.
Oh man. Okay. Well.
How about when Team Rank 5 goes up against the Temporal Legends?
Oh, I can't wait to play in bulk again.
Hector spout off in Twitch chat, week 1 coming into the league, Brian is Brian, so. How about
Yeah,
one?
that is a good one. I think
Is that-
that's got some nice rivalry potential. Yeah.
Okay. I guess if you guys think so.
How about
Anarchist and Rogue and the way they, bicker back and forth when they play HOTS together. Yeah, I think that's a good little rivalry there.
how about when Defias Brotherhood goes up against Valkyrie? G-Net's anarchied Weimer out of his captainship. Now he's playing against him.
And then signed him to his
And then
team.
signed him back. That's a little.
Oh yeah. Oh, we have the Lemur Sage rivalry. Those teams going at it.
Yeah,
Sage
there you go.
dodging him out of the league.
Yeah, there's one. See, there's some out there.
Yeah, we just need more storylines. We
do.
need more people talking shit in Discord.
That's true. But yeah, there's some. Whether or not the pod people are going to be able to play through BlizzCon, I guess they don't have to worry about it
No.
this time.
No, not this
That
season.
rivalry isn't a concern.
Season 7 though. Look out!
Whew.
Look out! BlizzCon right around the corner.
That is it. That's it for the doc.
Yep, that's all we got.
So
And
let's do parting thoughts.
This is where I would do parting thoughts, but since it triggers mange, bye.